More and more hackathons. Come on, where are we actually going with this? Do we actually see any good coming from these hackathons? And judging from previous hackathons, I'm not sure we have a good trajectory as yet. And judging from the fruits that we have from having the previous hackathons, I only see a good kind of project which is PCM and going in a direction which I don't necessarily enjoy, because as I said before, even though they're pioneers in trying to make everything functionable, and their people are just going to use the SDK and everything else that kind of PCM core team are trying to do. I think that's just the plus that I get from the PCM, in which they're making everything functionable, and that kind of skeleton will be used on different other projects. But judging just on the hackathons, I don't see anything yet. I don't see any interesting apps. I don't see any interesting kind of solutions for pains and people's gains in trying to increase the value of the pie and trying to build up that community in which we can use pie coins for different services or different products, in trying to create momentum, in trying to create demand for the coins. All I see is just stocks, and all I see is just projects with no real fundamentals in which I kind of want to keep an eye on. You know my opinions. I love Pi Network, and I love the fact that they're trying to build up something valuable which backs up the value of the coin, instead of just trying to release another crypto coin in the world with no real value behind it. But why are things moving so slowly, and why Pi Network core team are just not giving any communications to its kind of family, which are constantly looking of ways of backing project up, but I can't see how we can actually add more value to it. So for now, the real value of this coin is just trying to use it on consensus basis, in which people already migrated to the mainnet, which is the enclosed network. They can probably trade between them, and I can probably offer you, what should I offer you? I can offer you a pen, and you would say, I'll give you 10 pi for that pen. And that's the only real value for what's happening now. And not to say that most people are not migrated to that, to be able to even do what I've just presented I consent that this pen might be worth 10 pi, and then you consent that, yeah, if I'll give you 10 pi, you're gonna send me the pen, or vice versa. This is the only kind of true application of the coins for now. I don't think people can and want to actually use the chain mode to be able to trade coins for any goods. From time to time, I'm having a look on what's actually on there, and if you think on the prices and how much the difference between different products and what their consensus are is just shocking, because there's no consistency in what I kind of predicting the value for the pi compared with the next merchant, which is predicting a totally different value for the pi coin. We try to build consistency, and we try to build up different applications and different services to back up the pi, and I think we're not gaining the momentum we actually want. And I've seen some predictions the other day. I was reading actually some prediction made by some kind of influencers when it comes to Pi Network, and they were claiming that probably we're going to see some real application in 2026. And by 2026, I don't know, there are already people dropping like rocks when it comes to Pi Network, and their interest is just falling apart. And I can see it from people I've invited to the network, and me being so annoying and constantly asking them to mine, they just lost interest. And if we have to wait by 2026, I'm worried that this project is going to slowly die. I'm not saying this is necessarily a very bad thing by dragging it for years, because you might say the real pioneers will last forever, but I'm worried that everything that will come in between now and 2026 or 2025 is just going to make Pi network look very bad and shady. And the fact that they can't get the momentum we need is just going to look bad compared with probably different projects which are getting more momentum and they're getting things done. CORE DAO just released news that Satoshi Plus app is probably going to launch a new version of the app with different applications, real applications in which core coins are going to be distributed to their families. And that's kind of a good news, and it's just putting more pressure on Pi network, but the response is not coming. So if these two networks are probably the two networks that everybody are talking about, Pi network is doing nothing in that race, and CORE DAO is just winning fight after fight after fight. I'm waiting more from Pi network, and I don't know why. I still have my appetite it's still very up. I mean, I can't say very up. We're still up for Pi compared with Core, because I think they have a different approach, which I like, but their approach is not moving anywhere, and that's kind of what's disappointing for most people. I'm not disappointed, I'm just probably having higher expectations than this, and hopefully things will move in the direction on a different pace that we actually are now. And I know it's not easy. I mean, trying to build up something is not easy. Trying to build up a good ecosystem in which you value a currency within your ecosystem, and you want that currency to be useful, and you want that currency to be backed up by real people with real projects, with real products. And that's just going to take time. And if it's 2025, 2026, I'm gonna be here for the long run, because I want to support this project. And I hope people will embark on this journey and sustain and be patient with Pi network, even though it's not moving to the pace we need. I'm sorry that all the news, most of the times, they have to be kind of pessimistic news, but I'm not seeing any real deal. It's now end of January, and the promises on having a different KYC and the enhancement on the importance of KYC, and still no results after 30 days, 31 days. I hope things are going to move faster after this hackathon, or at least get some news with the hackathon and what's happening there. SDK is useful, but I'm not sure how many people are going to actually use it and selling their products within the ecosystem. I'm not trusting any sellers, because if there's no way of validating the products prior distributing the coins in the transactions, I'm not going to spend any coins, because I can't trust anyone these days. And I'm sorry if I have to say that, but there's no way I would buy all sorts of different products from different sellers across the world without a way of validating or being able to refund my coins, which I don't know how you can actually do without having them to transfer them back. But till we actually see some real dApps, waiting here patiently, and hopefully I will come to a day in which I will say, oh wow, these apps or these products or these services are something that I'm very interested in, and I'm willing to put all my Pi coins in just to be able to back up the value of the coin and kind of build strong foundations for this network. Lovely people, thank you for being here, and thank you for watching. Let's wait patiently. Subscribe to my channel and be here for me as much as I'm here for the network and everything else. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.